I think working with this kind of emerging biomaterial, we have this opportunity to create something that brings awareness, but at the same time also creates this idea of sustainability and introduce it to the world as part of this whole aesthetic product that's not only good looking, but at the same time it utilizes waste and everything, reduces waste, streaming resource from actual waste, that all kind of have this shift, a great shift towards this sustainable consumption in the future. And I think that is a really great position to be in at the moment.
In the mycelium study itself, the material is incredibly interesting and has so many variabilities. And we kind of didn't know if engaging with a third substrate, so for example, let's say it's coffee grinds or something like that, if it's more about the perceivability of almost it being sustainable, or if it is actually sustainable. So throughout my practice, I've been very cautious of really diving deep into what is renewable and what is circular in its design process, and how we can genuinely produce something that is, rather than producing an idea that it is sustainable. So that was a big thing for us. We actually really wanted to go forward with the practice and make sure that everything we created had a connection to something tangible and something that was founded on research.
Like, as designers now, I think everyone has the responsibility to be, well, you don't even have the choice, you have to be mindful of how your design affects the world, and everything has to be mindful of the environment. And I think Mycelium was a great stepping stone into the new age of design with materials and biomaterials. And a lot of the work being done in biomaterials is bioengineering, and that's separate from design, but I feel like Mycelium was a nice middle ground between design and bioengineering, where you could get an understanding and still make an impact as a designer in that world.
Coming from an architecture kind of background, working with something that is very organic is kind of new, because we are too used to working with concrete and kind of materials that are very kind of rigid and kind of very strong in terms of their properties. This is kind of a new feature you can work with. In terms of working with steel, it would be an interesting aspect to kind of look at in future. From the beginning, I had the goal of kind of working with sustainability, but I didn't know in what direction. So now I'm kind of sure that I want to work with something organic, but be influenced by the new kind of systems of architecture, which is focusing on parametric design